everybody, welcome back to a new vlog. So I'm actually starting on a Tuesday today, mostly just because I like this outfit. And also because I actually have my last class full stop tomorrow, so it's mostly just like working on projects and stuff now, so I thought I'd, vlog a little bit more. But yeah, today's Tuesday. I've been at campus pretty much all day because I had a couple of meetings with students in my TA class to discuss their final essays that they're working on. I was also there attempting to get some work done for my own projects, although I probably spent a lot more time yapping with the other PhD students, but some work got done. And I'm also really excited because we're going to go see Project Hail Mary tonight. There's a big group of us going. I know everybody has been hyping the movie up so much, so I also feel, my mom actually pointed this out, but I agree, that this cardigan is very apropos, I don't know, of the movie. She was like, I feel like those kinds of sweaters are just having a moment because of Project Hail Mary, and I feel like they probably are in a similar vein to like when the Chris Evans cable knit was popping off after Nights Out. Again, probably one of my favorite Chris Evans roles, because generally he's not my favorite Chris. Like, he's fine, but I just find him less interesting than most of the other ones. Chris Pine is my favorite, if anyone's keeping score. But yeah, I am really excited to see it because everybody is like, every review that I've seen of people going in is being like, that was incredible, I love it. Like, I haven't seen one even kind of moderate review yet, so I am really excited to see it. I remember when the trailers started playing in theaters and I had been seeing something else and I thought that it looked really fun. Love Ryan Gosling, so I'm looking forward to it. I've seen The Martian. Like, I thought The Martian was good. I wasn't like obsessed with it because the book Project Hail Mary is by the same author. So I am like interested to see how it compares. I feel like, I know The Martian is like funny and is emotional, but I feel like this movie gives the vibe that it will be more so. I had seen The Bride a few weeks ago and I absolutely loved it. Like, it's so fun, so crazy. It's just so like, you can tell Maggie Gyllenhaal just had like, everyone was just having fun and she had a vibe and a style that she wanted to do. Like, I think it's really highly stylized, but it's like really fun and kind of campy, and I feel like it just leans into what it wants to do. Like, it's both fully committing but also not taking itself too seriously, and Jessie Buckley is just so fun to watch. Like, she plays it quite physically, which is really fun. I also don't know if I've ever seen Christian Bale have so much fun. Like, I've never seen him dance before. I know that there's a movie where he dances a lot, because I said, like, does he dance? And someone was like, yeah, he's in this dance movie. And I was like, crazy. But I loved it. It's not the kind of thing that I would think that he would like do right now necessarily, but it was so good. I absolutely loved it. I know that one was getting mixed reviews, but I think people are just haters and didn't see the vision. I think that The Bride is like what Poor Things wanted to be. Like, there were things about Poor Things that I liked. I don't even think it's Emma Stone's best role. Honestly, I think her role in Cruella is cooler than her role in Poor Things. But yeah, so I loved The Bride. Like, that has been my favorite movie that I've seen recently. Also, just to continue recapping what I've been watching, I finished something that I'd been working on last night. I don't remember what, but then I was like, I'm just gonna watch something. And YouTube kept recommending me clips from Flowers in the Attic, the Origin miniseries. And I was like, I'm not watching that. But then I saw that Hannah Dodd is in it, so she plays Francesca in Bridgerton, and I was like, Hannah Dodd, what are you doing here? And then there was Paul Wesley, and I was like, Paul Wesley, what are you doing here? Max Irons also plays Malcolm, who is Corinne's dad, and he's the grandfather in like the Flowers in the Attic original. So I was like, okay, fine. Why is this cast so weirdly stacked? I'll watch an episode. Did I watch the entire miniseries in one sitting? Well, yes I did. And why did it kind of eat? Like, I think that it leaned into the camp and the kind of like silliness of it more than, I remember watching the like Lifetime movies when they came out, and they are really bad, but also that one also is weird. Heather Graham plays Corinne, and then like the person playing Olivia in the movies is also like really famous. I forget who it is. And then like the guy that plays Smith in Sex and the City plays Christopher in the movies. And I think he's a really good actor in Sex and the City, and he is not a very good actor in the Flowers in the Attic movies. But honestly, I think Flowers in the Attic, the origin, it was kind of good. Max Irons, I think, like, cleared everyone. Like, I thought he was really good as Malcolm, and it is, I think, probably the most interesting role, but I thought that he played it really well. Like, I liked the kind of, again, I'm talking about this a lot, the like physicality that he like did for the role and how it kind of like changed, and just what he was doing with his face. I just think that he was really good in it. Also, I have read the first Flowers in the Attic book, you know, morbid curiosity. And I think that like the books lean into like, here are a bunch of awful things that are happening, and they're all awful all the time. But I feel that the movies and like the TV show are like, yeah, they're siblings and it's awful and like, whoa, but also like, aren't you kind of rooting for them? Isn't it like romantic? Because like as Corinne and Christopher, like you're like, yeah, I want this, and you're like, oh my god, wait, no, they're siblings. It's a bit rough for that, but you know, it was entertaining. I love the music. I feel like the music is where it really leaned into the kind of like the drama and the campiness of it. So I had a good time with it. I'm just saying. Also, I feel that they actually had a pretty big budget, which is crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Do with that information what you will, I guess. So to switch gears to my project, this is perhaps a crazy choice, but I think over the next like day or two, I'm just gonna reread Orlando in its entirety. It's mainly because when I was reading this originally, I didn't really have an idea, a clear idea, an idea at all of what I wanted to do for my essay. I figured that like I'd probably do something with this, maybe something with the movie, but I didn't know what. But now that I like know what I'm doing more, like I want to talk about how the movie, like Sally Potter's Tilda Swinton Orlando kind of adapts, and like how the Orlando's kind of relationship to nature is represented in the book versus the movie. So I really wasn't like reading super closely for that when I was reading this at first. So I think my essay will just be much stronger if I do just go through this and reread it again. Obviously I can like skim sections that I need to, but yeah, I think that's just what I'm gonna have to do. So it's not that crazy of a choice because I think it'll just be better. So that's the plan. So I think I'll maybe read some of this before I head out for the movie. Unfortunately, I also am probably gonna have to change out of my super cute outfit because on the walk home, it's gotten chillier over the course of the day, so I fear that I need to just wear pants. Okay guys, so it's Wednesday morning. Saw Project Hail Mary last night, and I will say I think it's slightly overhyped. Like I did really enjoy it, but like people are losing their minds over it, right? And like Ryan Gosling is really, really good in it. And it's very, like it's cuter than I expected it to be. I knew there was like a little alien guy, but I don't know, I wasn't expecting it to be like as cutesy. And he's really funny in it. I feel like it's one of those movies that does a good job of like the comedy and the like emotional peak moments. I actually loved the karaoke scene, which I feel like people who love the movie love it and like love Sign of the Times as like kind of representing the movie. But I think some people also are like, oh, this is kind of like cheesy and cringe. But I feel like, I forget the actress's name, but I feel like the actress and Ryan Gosling played the scene so well that like it is cringe, but it's also not. Like, I don't know, they kind of like leaned into like that this is kind of silly and like awkward, but it was this like, I don't know, I thought it was good. I enjoyed that bit. So I did like it, but it is like, they make this movie every 4 years, and is this movie any different? Not really. I also love like in movies like this where they use like a lot of really like big fancy science words, and then the like solutions to things are really simple, like, oh, Rocky and Ryan Gosling's character don't have the same atmosphere. Like if they go in each other's atmosphere, they'll die. So what is the solution? Big ball. And it's just funny. So yeah, like I did enjoy it, but was I like blown away and changed forever? No. But yeah, I think it's like worth seeing. I think it's a good movie, but I think that like people that are like, this is life-changing, this is so different, I don't know about that. And I feel like most of us that had seen it felt the same way. Like it's that same movie, but it's like a really good version of that movie, you know? So if you're into like the sci-fi space story kinds of things, that makes sense. I'd also read that apparently the author of the book had like pulled a Sydney Sweeney and was like, it's not political, it's just art, blah, blah. Buddy, you've written a very like clear climate change allegory where every government in the world like unites together to form the Avengers to stop climate change. What are you talking about? It's so strange. But anyway, this kind of besides the point. That was just goofy. Just maybe just don't talk to reporters. But yeah, Ryan Gosling, very, very charming. I loved the plethora of jokey science t-shirts and cozy cardigans. That was fun. And yeah, I don't know, I enjoyed it. Thought it was fun, but didn't think it was like super different. Hello, so I feel like you can probably hear my really loud dryer in the back, so whoops. But it's the evening now. I'm about to head out for a walk. I had my last George Eliot class today, which was really interesting. It was a group presentation on Daniel Deronda, and I really enjoyed it. They did this kind of like graph activity. So on the y-axis, they had like femininity, masculinity, and then the x-axis always kind of changed. So it was like religious, not religious, willing to perform, unwilling to perform. And then I think the other one was willing to gamble, unwilling to gamble. And we were placing like Mira, Daniel, Gwendolyn, and Grandcourt on the axis and where they thought that they landed. So I thought that that was really interesting. And then for their presentation bit, we were talking mainly about like they were kind of giving a general overview of like those topics. So yeah, it was really fun to see like where people were placing everyone, because for a lot of it, like everyone was very consistent. Mira and Grandcourt are kind of unchanged like for every single one of those. But yeah, seeing what people made of those characters, especially like Gwendolyn and Daniel, I would say probably had the most variation for all of us for where we placed them. So that was a fun activity and I enjoyed it. It was a good presentation to end on, I think. Daniel Deronda is just such a weird book. The more time you spend with it or the more you do, like the weirder it seems. I'm still reading Orlando, so I'd like to today get to the end of chapter 2 because there's like how many chapters total? I think there's 8 chapters maybe. Like there's not that many chapters because they're kind of longer. But like my copy is just under 200 pages total. And if I read to the end of chapter 2, that takes me to kind of like just under halfway through. So obviously I would read more tonight if I can, but like minimum goal, I want to read to the end of chapter 2. There's so many nature metaphors in this, it's crazy. And also I had anticipated that, like when I came up with this topic, I thought like, okay, probably not as many people have written about nature in like the Tilda Swinton movie, because like the vast majority of the criticism like that's about the movie is going to be about like gender transformation, and maybe like time. But I thought that there'd be a ton of writing about nature in Orlando the book, and like there is some, but I haven't found heaps of it, which is kind of crazy to me because she's doing really like wackadoodle things with nature. And like Orlando, one of the kind of like grounding or consistent parts of the story is this oak tree that's on his estate, and the big like, was gonna call it an elegy, it's not an elegy, his like epic poem that they're working on over the course of you know, his many centuries of life is called like Under the Oak Tree. And like nature is a really big part of the book, and his relationship to nature is, and how it changes. So I was surprised that I hadn't found more. I'm obviously still like digging, and I'll probably find like more sources, but I just like anticipated that being like a lot of secondary criticism to wade through, and I haven't been finding heaps, which I thought was strange. But yeah, I don't know. I'm actually like enjoying the start of the book more than I did when I first read, because I think like reading any Woolf, it takes you a minute to like adjust. But yeah, this is the one where I find like her prose the most fun, because she's like, you know, being quite hyperbolic, and the language is very like extreme and fun and whatever. So yeah, I don't know, it's good. I've been underlining a lot of stuff. It is now kind of early afternoon on Thursday, and I have been at the library for part of the day. I didn't get like a ton of stuff done, but I did pick through a couple of my secondary readings for Woolf, and I think I've more like clearly defined my kind of scope, because I knew like all the sort of things that I wanted to talk about, but I've been kind of like toying around with how to really frame them under like a cohesive kind of argument and how to discuss them together. Because like when discussing, because nature in Orlando has like kind of a lot of different meanings or representation. Like, are we discussing like actual physical nature and landscape, or are we discussing like the essence of nature, nature as a poetic ideal or kind of motivating force? Are we discussing like the innate nature of people and the representation of like gender and a person's nature is being constructed, or like what are we actually talking about? So I think that how I want to frame this, or what I really want to discuss, is how the movie's adaptation of Orlando's relationship to nature emphasizes their relationship to nature as being one that's to kind of like an artificiality, or to like an artificial construction of nature. And it's doing it through, you know, its production design, film design, costume design and everything, because I think the poem, or not the poem, I think that the book is a bit more, you know, nature forward, or it is this kind of like idea of Orlando's relationship to like wildness and to real nature. But I think that the movie really showcases that this is kind of like to a very kind of constructed natural world. Like, he's never really in true wild or natural spaces. So I might talk a bit about that, and then bringing in things like production design, costume design, and how that influences this idea of like a poetic nature, and nature as like as a poetic form or force in an individual. I don't know, that still sounds crazy, but it'll sound more eloquent when I write it. It's really such a nice day out today, so most of us kind of left the library, but I think I would like to go take a walk. I might actually just walk down to the public gardens, and if it's like still nice enough and there's a bench, I might even just read there for a little bit, to be honest, because it's so nice out. So it'd be nice to get like a little bit of sunshine instead of just being holed up here and like stagnant all day. So I think that that's what I'm gonna do. Hello. So I kind of skipped a couple of days of filming because I just did, and I wasn't really doing anything too interesting during the day because it's just been, you know, plugging away at the essays. But I did go and see the drama on Friday, which I really enjoyed. I did go in like knowing the general premise because I feel like, I don't know, it's weird to me that it is kind of like a secret because you find out, or that it's like kind of marketed as this twist, but you find out what happens like in the first 15 minutes of the movie. Like it tells you the premise. Also, nobody on here is gonna care. But I mean, if you don't want a spoiler, skip ahead a little bit. Basically you find out like Zendaya's character had planned a school shooting when she was like 14 or 15. Like she'd moved to a new school, didn't have any friends, and she just kind of got into like the idea of it, the aesthetics of it, she says, but then eventually she just like decided not to do it. So she never actually planned it out. They do actually a lot of weird, okay. There we go. There's a lot of like flashbacky kind of clips with young Zendaya where she's like, you know, in the throes. And it never seems like she's really that serious about it. She just kind of likes holding her dad's rifle and taking photos and like, you know, thinking about it, the idea. Like she's just an edgelord teenager, really. And then she decides not to do it. They have, her and Robert Pattinson's character have these like terrible friends who are like, let's tell each other like the worst things we've ever did. The other ones have like all done bad things, like actually followed through with them and did bad things. Again, I feel like a lot of the stuff I was seeing was like, theirs were all so much worse, they were all awful, blah, blah, blah. And like, they were all really bad, especially the fact that they were actually like things that happened and things that they did. But like, Zendaya's character, Emma, I think her name was, it was worse. Like, it was. Or, you know, the idea of it is. I actually wish that the movie, and I guess that's kind of the point, like it doesn't follow up on Charlie, Robert Pattinson's character, what he says, because it sounds like what he did was like really bad and awful, but they never bring it up again past the night where they tell the stories. I thought he was really good. Like, it's kind of how Robert Pattinson comes off in interviews to the extreme. Like, he's just like uncomfortable in his own skin. He's like a weird dude in the movie. Zendaya is the only kind of normal seeming one of all of them. The friend that plays Rachel really does steal the show. The actress does such a good job with her because she's just like the worst person that you've ever met in your life. And I knew it was gonna be a comedy, like I knew it was probably gonna be funny, but it was even funnier than I thought it was going to be, and like a different sort of humor than I'd been expecting. Like it's a very, I don't know, it's really funny. I like the fast cuts. I just really enjoyed it. I think it's a bit weirder than Project Hail Mary for sure. I feel like Project Hail Mary, like I said, is a very kind of, you know how that movie's gonna go as soon as you see it, really. I think the thing that's like revealed at the end is maybe like a bit more, it is like surprising. It's not necessarily the like trajectory that you expect, but like, I think, like I said, that movie, you've seen that movie before. This is just like the best version of it. Then the drama's obvious. It's hard to compare them. They're just the two movies that I saw this week. And then the drama is really different, but I like it. It's got this like weird sense of humor, and all of the characters are just like weird people, and I enjoyed that. I loved the wedding scene too, how like it would be focused in like a close-up shot or focused in on some of the characters, but then you could hear like comments that people are making off screen and off to the side. I thought that that was quite clever and I enjoyed it. There's also the scene where Robert Pattinson says something about, he's making his speech and he says something about the two of them together, and you just hear Rachel, the like awful friend, go, ew, in the background, and I was like laughing out loud in the theater. So yeah, I did really enjoy the drama. So I saw that Friday night, and then Saturday I was just working on my wolf paper. But then we also, a few of us went by the vintage market at Dow. This weekend has been a weekend of secondhand shopping. Cause this is like a cool thing that Dow does, like on a semi-regular basis. I don't know, they do it at least once a term, I think. They have a little vintage market in the student union building, so basically a lot of like secondhand vendors come in together. I saw a lot of cool stuff, didn't buy anything. The things that I kind of liked were either like not my size, didn't fit, or I just thought were like too expensive, because I feel like with those kind of vintage resellers, sometimes you see things and you're like, okay, that price is fair enough, or the price makes sense. And then you see other things and they're like ridiculous. Like at one vendor, I flicking through the racks and I see a shirt from Ricky's, like a Ricky's tank top, and they wanted like $30 something for it. And I immediately walked away. I was like, no, thank you. But lots of cool stuff, and the people that I like went with, the friends that I was with, were all much more successful than me. They all found something cute, so that was fun. And then today, me, Maggie, and Isabella went over to Dartmouth to go to this used bookstore. I forget what it's called. It's like John Dewey's or something. And it was fantastic, like extremely well stocked and extremely well organized, which I think is hard for a store like that. I will say I was going in like I'm about to go crazy on some historical romance, because I feel like used bookstores, they always have a really good selection of those. It was like the one section where there was nothing. Like the romance was 1.5 shelves maybe. Every other section packed. So again, lots of stuff there. I wound up only getting 2 books. I got this one called Chaucer in His Time by Derek Brewer. It's a collection of essays. If you've ever done any, like, if you've ever read any like Chaucer medieval scholarship, you've probably come across Derek Brewer before. So I thought I'd get that. And then I also got this World Classics edition of Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I just thought it was like a nice mass market paperback one. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, cute edition. And then we also went over to Value Village, and I also just got books there. So the first thing I got was this copy of Pride and Prejudice, which looks like Twilight, just because I thought that that was funny. And the description, like the font even, and the description is very like, Darcy had never been so bewitched by any woman as he was by her. With all the forces of the world conspiring to keep Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet apart, how will fate manage to bring them together? It certainly won't be easy if they're fighting it every step of the way, but theirs is a love that was meant to be, despite all the odds against them. And I didn't know this, but Maggie, one of the girls, was saying that like she remembers when they were doing this, they were doing a bunch of classics in like the Twilight covers with all this, and like people were big mad about it because they were like, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. And I was saying, it's actually so clever, like, because they really should have gone harder on it, because Bella reads so many like Jane Austen, Bronte novels. She reads a lot of, she name drops a lot of like classic lit that she's reading. And I feel like they should have done the covers and then done like a Bella's reading list kind of thing. And like, why not? You're gonna get all of the teenagers reading these kinds of books. So I did get this one because it was like $2 and I thought it was hilarious. And then this other one was also funny. It's Johanna Lindsey, who I know that I've read some of her historical romances before, but I cannot remember which ones off the top of my head, but she's prolific, she's written a lot, she's a good one. And this was in Value Village, and again, thought the cover was funny, and the description is hysterical. I love these kinds of historical romances with like the crazy, really like heightened descriptions, and then the books are just like really romantic and very yearny, but the descriptions make them sound a lot more scandaloso than they are. So yeah, this one was funny and very extra. I'm very blue. I feel like this is Twilight. Sorry, you're slightly adjusted because my battery died, so I had to plug you in. So the angle abruptly shifted because of that. But yeah, enjoy Johanna Lindsey. I enjoy a crazy historical romance. So I am excited to read that. The end of finals is in sight. So I've got like, what, a week and a half now from tomorrow? 2 weeks? I'll have to double check. For when all of my essays will be done and in, and not Chaucer, that will be for like maybe a week or two after, but eventually I will be able to read some of these, but yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. Enjoyed both of those. Isabella, one of the other girls, has a VHS tape, so she found a ton of VHSs, including like Romancing the Stone and stuff. So we're gonna have to have a movie night at some point for those. But yeah, that's kind of the end of my night here. So I think I'm just going to end the vlog here. And yeah, I'll just be furiously typing away over the next couple of days. But yeah, thank you for watching and catch you in the next one.